upon a time.
In Albuquerque, New Mexico, lived a young boy who we all know today as the great and famous Jeff Bezos. But how did Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen become Jeff Bezos? How did he make Time Magazine Person of the Year? What was his life like before fame?
It's time for me to answer all these questions and more, since this is ASMR. Aaron, back at it again with another daily video to help you relax. So lay back and enjoy the ride. I hope this read helps you get you through your day, or even better, I hope this video helps you gently fall asleep. I can't wait to get started.
This is the tale of Jeff Bezos. Once upon a time in Albuquerque, New Mexico, especially on January 12th, 1964, a 17-year-old girl named Jacqueline Guise gave birth to a baby boy named Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen. She was married to Ted Jorgensen for just 1 year while she finished earning her high school diploma, but the relationship was not meant to last, and they got a divorce. They didn't know that their son would be one of the richest men on the planet. Jacqueline later met a new man and remarried, Mike Bezos, a Cuban immigrant who earned a college scholarship in the U.S. The Cuban man decided to adopt Jeff and gave him his last name, so from that moment, he became Jeff Bezos. Jeff grew up in a very loving and supportive family. His stepfather, Mike, was very resourceful and hardworking. His mother was very loving and supportive, and she was especially concerned about making sure her son got the best education possible. She put Jeff into a Montessori school. Jeff was a great student. He was extremely focused on his schoolwork, and it was so hard to break his concentration that sometimes the teachers had to pick him up while he was still sitting in his chair and move him just to break his concentration. Jeff was very attached to his grandparents. He spent most of his summer vacations at their ranch in Texas. He helped them to run it. They also owned an Airstream trailer, and they went on long road trip vacations together. During these trips, Jeff was doing math problems on paper, calculating their average gas mileage and how much they spent on groceries. He did not particularly enjoy the outdoors, and he preferred to watch TV and read books. At a very early age, Jeff Bezos was showing signs that he was a genius. His grandfather gave him some very valuable advice, which stuck with him for the rest of his life, like always reminding himself that no matter how much he accomplished, he must try to stay down to earth. In his garage, his mom let him get his first workshop, where he built a solar cooker, a hovercraft, and he even installed a security alarm on his bedroom door. Bezos was in love with science fairs, science fiction novels, and a big Star Trek fan. His interest in computer gaming came from Trek 73, a game he played by chance when he found a teletype computer at his school, and the game was pre-programmed into the system. His business life started at high school. He found that the quality of his town's local summer camp was so low, kids just playing outside without learning anything. So he started a new camp called the Dream Institute. It was focused on teaching children about important works of literature in a fun and exciting way. He attended Princeton University and earned a degree in computer science. Then in no time he got his first job at a startup called Fitel. Then he got his next job, which was at Bankers Trust, which gave him some experience in the financial industry. Next, he worked for an investment firm on Wall Street called D.E. Shaw. He helped to develop software for trading stocks online. As the years went on, Jeff Bezos was staying on top of the news about the growth of the internet. He realized that every single year, the number of people who were using the internet was increasing by 2,300%. He knew that the internet will become a part of people's daily lives in the future. He decided to take advantage of this and figured that if he could genuinely create an online business that would help people make their lives easier, it would last. Now we need some drums. The love story will begin while he was still at his job working for D.E. Shaw. A woman named Mackenzie was applying to work for the firm, and guess what? Jeff Bezos was the one in charge of hiring new candidates. When she arrived for the job interview, he felt Cupid's arrow strike him in the heart, and he didn't know that this arrow would cost him $36 billion, so they dated for 3 months, got engaged, and got married in 1993. When Jeff Bezos turned 30 years old, they had been married for only a year. He told his wife about his idea for an online bookstore, and that he wanted to quit his job to pursue it. They decided to leave New York City in 1994. Bezos chose to start his company in Seattle because it is also the location of Microsoft, so there was a lot of talent in the tech industry living there for him to find employees. It's also far cheaper to start a company there compared to New York or Silicon Valley. The beginning of Amazon has been only used as a book-selling website. In his mind, Jeff Bezos imagined a bookstore with millions of titles, so he and his wife start to pursue this dream from their garage. After receiving an order for a book, Jeff would go to thrift stores and used bookshops looking for the book that was requested, and then send it to the customer. After a while, they were ready to hire a team to help them run the business out of their house. The staff of Amazon.com was only 8 people. Since the company did not have very much money, he asked his employees to make desks out of old doors. Even to this day, the door desk is still a tradition in the Amazon.com offices. Amazon.com succeeded quickly, and the reason was that Bezos was filling a very real need for people. It was the first online bookstore, even 2 years before Barnes & Noble began selling their stock on the internet. Ever since then, Amazon continued to pioneer various aspects of incorporating the internet into people's daily lives, and he says that for 7 years, there was no similar competition out there that was even thinking on the scale that he was. In 1997, Bezos wanted to take Amazon.com public. Thankfully, he still had connections on Wall Street, so he knew exactly how to approach investors with a business plan. He fully admitted that he did not actually intend to make any profits for the first 5 years that the company was operating. Jeff Bezos gave stock options to all of his original employees, and this made them very motivated to make the company succeed. After a couple of years, every single one of these 8 original employees had become multimillionaires. Jeff Bezos ASMR. After a while, Bezos wanted to sell far more than just books. He emailed 1,000 random customers asking what sort of items they would want to buy on the internet. Soon enough, he was getting replies of items in just about every category. He realized that he wanted to grow Amazon into a store that sold everything, and he began using the same method that he had with books, listing a product online, buying the item in person, and then shipping it to the customer. Of course, this only helped the company grow even more. But even after earning millions of dollars, Bezos continues to drive his beat-up old Honda. He wanted to show his employees that he still stood by his core values of frugality and resourcefulness. Instead of spending that money on himself, he reinvested the money to make Amazon.com better. They bought out other competing online book retailers and brought them into the fold. He also decided to give anyone in the United States the opportunity to sell on the Amazon.com platform as third-party sellers, which only made the platform stronger, because it expanded their inventory. Every decision Jeff Bezos made for the expanding business was with the future in mind. Every decision Jeff Bezos made for the expanding business was with the future in his mind. When he learned about ebooks, he allowed people to self-publish their work online for the first time and earn an income for themselves. Next, he developed the Kindle e-reader to give people a place to read all of their ebooks. When he knew digital streaming services became popular, he jumped on that bandwagon too. The list goes on and on. Today, Amazon.com is one of the most massive corporations in the world, and they have dipped their toes into so many different industries at this point, it's hard to keep track. Amazon has been criticized for putting independent bookstores out of business. Even major corporations like Borders Books could not compete. So when everything is going well, you must know that life will have another opinion. After 25 years of marriage and supporting, Jeff and Mackenzie got divorced, and there's always a pain in love. But in this case, there was also pain in Jeff's pocket, because this divorce cost him $38 billion. So please, before you fall in love, check your pocket. Bezos also has 3 other big dreams: discovering space, life on other planets, and own a newspaper. So in 2000 he founded Blue Origin, a company focused on only one goal: to enable private human access to space with dramatically lower costs and increased reliability. And in 2015, Blue Origin made history when it became one of the first commercial companies to successfully launch a reusable rocket. Also in August 2013, Bezos bought the Washington Post for $250 million. So a man like this, with a net worth of $123 billion, must be sleeping on golden awards from the Times Person of the Year to Business Person of the Year by Fortune. The Economist gave Bezos and Greg Zur an Innovation Award for the Amazon Kindle. He was selected by U.S. News and World Report as one of America's best leaders. He was ranked the best performing CEO in the world by Harvard Business Review. The Economist gave Bezos and Greg Zur an Innovation Award for the Amazon Kindle. In 2016, Bezos received a $250,000 prize for winning the Heinlein Prize for Advances in Space Commercialization, which he donated to the students for the exploration and development of space. He received Germany's 2018 Axel Springer Award for Business Innovation and Social Responsibility. And even Time magazine again named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world in their 2018 listing. So from the adopted baby in New Mexico to one of the richest men on the planet who can pay billions as a cost of his affairs, we can end this episode with one of his quotes. Maybe he watches it. Life's too short to hang out with people who aren't resourceful. Jeff Bezos. From an adopted boy who spent his childhood in the ranch helping his grandparents, to this kid who has unbreakable focus and strong addiction to solve math problems, and from a normal HR employee to one of the richest businessmen on this planet, and definitely the one with the most expensive love story in history. Who knows, maybe one day we will find him running Amazon from Mars, or having a new love story on the moon. If we do know anything, is that Jeff Bezos will be super careful in his next love story, and may he live happily ever after.